Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Schedule Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a Garen game, and Garen is in a, well, pretty decent team, I guess. And he's going up against another pretty decent team, so we haven't seen a lot of those in recent times. Anyhow, I'm guessing Garen goes top here. Where is he? Oh, can see him on the minimap, but that explains. I'm assuming he's going up against Nasus here, and Nasus apparently starting off with boots and potions, whereas Garen is starting off with cloth armor and potions. And cloth armor and potions is a little bit better in this regard, or in the regard of sustain, as well as its innate ability, perseverance being better, obviously. And this is going to be first blood, I'm assuming.
Minions have spawned.
Whoa, he got out. Man, that should have been a kill. I don't know how that wasn't a kill. He actually ran all the way in there, and they still couldn't kill him. 3 versus 1. But I guess the Flash is good at escaping these kind of situations. And yeah, that was a waste of ignite. You shouldn't ignite unless people are really, really low. But it's really strange that they couldn't get that kill. Anyhow, Nasus now up to 2 potions. Oh, he already had 2 potions. Hang on. Yeah, at least lost some health there. But yeah, it's creeping up slowly. As well, every champion has some regen. Obviously Garen has a lot more regen than the average champion, and yeah, he loses that every time he gets or he takes damage, and then he has to wait for 7 seconds, and then it's back up again. So you have to hit him at least once every 7 seconds. And then, well, if he attacks an enemy champion, like here, he will get damaged by the minions, and that triggers the effect as well. Well, that triggers the negation of the effect, I guess. And yeah, he lets the wave push a little bit in his direction, making it easier to, well, to zone out this Nasus from getting last hits. And I guess that should be his, well, his tactic, trying to prevent the Nasus from getting last hits with his Q. Because if you cannot level up the Q damage on, or the Q stacks on Nasus, he is going to be fairly useless late game. He's still going to be tanky and things like that, but yeah, the main power from Nasus comes from the Q doing massive damage. It is really a little bit too powerful for, well, for a champion that can be this tanky. Because he can still do quite a lot of damage with it, and at the highest level with maximum cooldown reduction you can do, well, you can do it like once every 2 seconds. And in my opinion that is a bit too much, especially since yeah, without any damage items you can still do like, I don't know, 500 damage with it, something like that, if you're farming really well with it. And that means, yeah, if you're really, really well experienced with it. Because normally we see them stacking like, I don't know, 50, 60 stacks, but if you're really good with it you can get like 200 stacks of it. Which means it adds 600 damage, and then with the cooldown, or with the magic, no, not magic resist, with armor from your opponents, about 500 will remain from the total attack. And if you can do like 500 damage every 2 seconds or so. And if you even have a critical strike on that, because it will critical strike, yeah, obviously that is going to be a little bit too powerful for a champion that is yeah, that just uses this as his only damage ability. So Garen getting damaged quite a bit. He has plenty of healing potions to get his health back up, but he should really try to use his innate ability to heal back up instead of just the potions. But yeah, every time he gets near the Nasus, obviously Nasus is going to hit him with his Q, and that is going to hurt already. So anyhow, yeah, it's mainly just a matter of who gets what done here in this early game. So because the only thing that matters really is how much harass you can do and how many minions you can actually kill. And I think minion-wise they're kind of equal. Garen takes a little bit of yeah, a little bit more harass than Nasus does, because Garen is a little bit, yeah, a little bit more dependent on his levels to do damage. Nasus kind of depends on getting the levels on his Q up, and yeah, already has a few levels on that. So let's see, because he's level 6 now, 33 minions versus the 33 from Garen now. And still not in tower range, excellent. And yeah, it's the Q from Garen versus the Q from Nasus, and obviously Nasus is going to win that in the end game. But so far so good. Nasus is not really able to farm up because he is too far away from the minions. And yeah, Garen is just going to farm up these minions. Should try to keep some of them alive to hold off this minion wave, to make sure that the next minion wave will also be up here. We are now at 5-1-1 and 1 in the ultimate, obviously. Which means that yeah, his Q is doing quite a bit of damage already, and yeah, we are missing Nasus now. Presumably he has gone home to shop. So yeah, this has been going pretty smoothly for both of them. No ganks coming in. Obviously both of them could have done a bit of a better job last hitting. And Garen has now pushed the lane a little bit, meaning that Nasus is going to get quite a few free minions here. And yeah, I thought the Spirit Fire, the big round circle there, would have done more, but it didn't, so... But he's still going to get all of these minions. Garen now going back to farm, or not to farm, to buy some stuff. Nasus with Philosopher's Stone and Cloth Armor, which is surprising to say the least. Heart of Gold and Boots of Speed, yeah, that's also kind of, well... on Nasus I would have liked to see something with cooldown reduction. On Garen, yeah, it doesn't really matter what you build as long as it's tanky. Because both of these characters are really, really tanky. And Nasus is here now. And he is going to go down bottom. Oh, yeah. Nicely done by the enemy. And yeah, I didn't keep track of where Nasus was, but pretty sure he will come up to the top lane again at some point. So yeah, everyone has flash. Yeah, that's kind of the standard thing to have. We see some junglers or top laners without flash, and they mostly have ghost instead. So yeah, Ness is getting a kill there. That is not good for our top laner here. Although he is going to lose all of this experience and gold. And Garen in the meantime is going to just get all of these last hits. Well, not all of them. Get as many of the last hits as he can. And deny as much as he can to the opponents. So doing a good job so far, doing some damage to the turret. It's not really a whole lot. It's about 800 damage he did. But yeah, in the later levels the tower will go down pretty easily. And yeah, now the ninja tabby on tabby. Why is it singular? No, whatever. The ninja tabby on Nessus, preventing some physical damage there. And the most annoying slow in the game going down on Garen here. Obviously it would be good to get something against that, because it is really annoying to deal with, especially if a gank comes in. Unfortunately for him, that's not the case this time. He needs to use his Q on these kind of minions and is losing quite a bit of minions to the turret here. And that's the difference between a really experienced player and kind of an average player like me or this guy. The last hitting versus the turret. If you know how to do it, it is pretty easy. And if you have no idea how to do it, it is pretty much impossible. And at least you get all of the experience pretty easily. But losing a lot of gold there. Last hit wise it's 57 to 59. But yeah, this guy, this Nessus, is up 1 kill. So in the end he is up quite a bit of gold actually. Like 300 gold, because both of them have one gold item, and both of the gold items were purchased at virtually the same time, so not a lot of difference there. And we see a little bit of FPS lag here. Hopefully it's not consistent throughout the game. Anyhow, yeah, we're just going to see some more, yeah, farming and farming and farming. Yeah, Nessus really interesting champion, just as Garen, but Nessus is really strong late game, whereas Garen, yeah, he's not that strong, but he can finish people off pretty nicely with his Damascene Justice. Yeah. In the end, the Damascene Justice is useful 1v1, but not in the in team fights. Nas is completely out of mana, by the way. Oh, so is Garen. Oh. Yeah, that was a little bit of a lame joke. But anyhow, yeah, Nessus is completely out of mana, so he's not going to be able to get all of the last hits with his Q that he could have otherwise had. Because he spent a little bit too much mana on harassing Garen, and Garen, yeah, it's not really useful to harass him because he regens pretty nicely and has no trouble with yeah, dealing with the harassment. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say here, except that this is going to take a while. Yeah, Nessus is going to be a little bit more useful in the team fights later on, because as I said, the Q will be well, will come up every 2 seconds or so in the late game if he builds it correctly. and it will do like 3 to 500 damage. So yeah, in team fights you can do quite a bit of damage with that. And since you probably are going to build full tank on him, there's not a whole lot of things that can go wrong in a team fight for you as Nasus, because you're never going to get focused and you can kill, well, the whole enemy team if you're if you're lucky. So apparently Dragon is up, but yeah, or they want to go for Dragon, or they thought enemy was doing Dragon. So Nasus down here, and here you will see the damage he does, which is quite a lot actually. And there you go, just completely killing that Katarina from 100 to 0, and that is definitely not what you want in the end game. But it's so hard to do anything against that, and yeah, I wish I could see the stacks on his Q, but unfortunately I cannot. Because you can see it from the amount of damage he does, at least a little bit. Yeah, he has Sheen by now, and Sheen is excellent on him. It makes the damage on his Q even better, and if you have a cooldown of 2 seconds on your Q, then it's going to be even cooler, because then every hit is going to do 150% damage of the extra damage, and that is just ridiculous. So not only do you do 150% damage, you're going to do the extra damage that you build up with your Q, 150% of that. So instead of 3 damage for each stack, you're going to get 4.5 damage per stack, and wow, that is just kind of overpowered for the amount of gold you have to invest in getting a Sheen. So I like the Sheen. I don't really like the whole Triforce on him, by the way. It is, yeah, the slow is good, or at least reasonably good, but there are better items to get for him. I like him to be a lot more tanky. But the Sheen is really a nice item because it provides so much extra damage for virtually no gold. Anyhow, yeah, again the opponent missing here, and Garen is going to help out mid, or at least go mid, because he expects the Nasus to turn up there, and Nasus eventually turns up in the top lane, and is 1 level behind on this this Garen. Not that it really matters, but yeah, well, he is 1 level behind, almost 2. Well, I guess he may reach level 12 anytime soon, but we're almost level 13 here. And yeah, the slow going down once again. And Garen is going to attempt to do as much damage to these minions as he can. Katarina not really going for her ultimate right away. And Garen is going to get out of this. Nicely done. Katarina should have come in with her ultimate. Should have jumped on the Nasus, immediately ulted. Took way too long for her to do anything. And yeah, therefore the Garen took quite a bit of damage. But eventually they got the kill, so no problems. Oh, well, no consequences on that. Yeah, I don't know why wow, she picked that up. It was all the way over here, and no, well. Yeah, so this guy had flash, or had his ultimate and didn't use it, even though both of the enemy champions were in turret range, so they couldn't attack back. And it would have probably secured the kill, since Katarina was coming in as well. But hey, what can we say? So someone already took out this big wolf. That is pretty surprising, as we don't see a whole lot of counter jungling normally. But yeah, sure, it's a good tactic. Yeah, Udyr is a good counter jungler, so he may have been there and taken out that that big wolf. Yeah, we just saw Nasus ward the river, so he cannot get ganked a second time. Well, he can still get ganked, but at least he will get a warning if he keeps his eye on the minimap. Which may not be the case. I mean, you never know. You should always try. But yeah, as a jungler, the wards in the river are a real pain in the neck, because, well, they're so hard to deal with early game. And therefore, with some junglers, it is better to just never go gank in bottom lane. And if you have real problems with wards, then you should really consider going for Rammus. Because with Rammus jungle or Nocturne jungle, you really don't care about... oh, excellent. Yeah, let's not remove the wall. Yeah, with those two junglers, you really don't care about the wards in the bottom lane. And yeah, even though he had the ward out, he still gets ganked and killed. The ultimate coming in really handy there. useful ultimates. But as I said, it's only a 1 versus 1 weapon, so in a team fight you can take out one enemy champion, and then after that you do a very small amount of damage. Unless you go like this Garen is for a damage build. And of course damage builds are built on Garen every now and then, but normally we don't see those. Normally we see yeah, high health, high armor, high magic resist, and a little bit of damage or cooldown reduction. So again, no ultimates from Katarina coming out, even though that was pretty much a 1v2 situation or 2v1 situation, and they would have been able to take him out, I'm assuming. Oh. This time not needing the ultimates. Oh wow, this dude should die as well. He's dead, dude. He's dead. Who are you chasing? Yeah, that was bad on Katarina's part. Completely whiffing the ultimate because she stepped out of the bush before doing that. Should have stayed in there. And the ultimate coming up to get that kill. And we are 3-0 here. So top lane, meanwhile, has been pushed pretty nicely by this this Nasus. Nasus, who's not doing a good job of farming up his Q, because he shouldn't have used the Spirit Fire there. He should have just attacked these minions one by one with his Q and well, gotten way more Q farm out of that. And the Q farm is really your main amount of damage. So Garen leaving the minions for Katarina here. Well, not all of them, but yeah, Katarina is going to do way better with the additional farm. So I think that's a good solution. Yeah, it's kind of equal, 123, 129. So yeah, it's pretty equal there. yeah, 3 kills versus 2 kills. Only, well, Nass has died twice, which is still nice. But it is going to be hard to deal with anyway later in the game. Getting focused here by 4 enemies and still surviving so far. So missing the... oh, now he's dead. Yeah. If Jarvan had a better ultimate there, he would have been safe. But yeah, most people just click a random spot and use the ultimate there. Anyhow. Yeah, by getting hit by the Ash arrow, he was pretty much dead anyway. And who's dying there? Katarina dying. Jarvan dying. And these 2 guys really should either attack or get out of there. And they decide to get out of there. It's a wise choice. Yeah, that was really not a smart tower dive by this team. They lost, I think, 2 guys there. Yeah. Yeah, Garen was already dead, so not a good thing to have. Anyhow, yeah, Garen went in there without any vision, but yeah, he's Garen, so he's allowed to do that. It was just unfortunate that 4 of them were there, and at least 4, maybe even all 5. And yeah, he got killed because of that. So this is now much better. Yeah, oh, and just as I say that, he plops down the Spirit Fire and gets all the minions with that. You should really just farm minion by minion, because you need to farm up that Q. And you should build some cooldown reduction probably, because he doesn't have it. But he's going for Trinity Force here as his first item, and I think that was an Oracles on Soraka, and everybody dies. So is he going to be able to do anything here? Nope. After the Guardian Angel, no chance of getting out, even though there was no real damage dealer there anymore. I don't know what this Nasus used his Shurelias for, but sure, why not? Don't know why he built Shurelias this early on, but anyhow. So far so good. We are just going to wait until he's back up and continue on. So Garen coming mid again and going to farm. Of course. Although by this time he should really join his team. He's not a carry. He is kind of a tanky DPS-like champion. And yeah, the enemy is doing a way better job of staying in the group and picking them off one by one. And especially because they have Alistar and Udyr, they have a, well, pretty easy time of doing so, because they have a lot of disables. Of course the Nasus slow is also a pretty decent disable. And nobody got hit by the Ash Arrow this time. Are they going to get the... yeah, they are going to get the Oracles. But they do lose Jarvan in the process. So Udyr coming in here just to, well, do a little bit of damage, attempting to get the Kog'Maw apparently. But Kog'Maw not easily caught here by just the Udyr. And a nice ultimate from Lux, but it wasn't going to hit just at random. Everybody could get out of that. And yeah, she didn't hit that. Has to flash out to get, well, to get out of range, but I don't think she will actually manage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kog'Maw with this incredible range on his ultimate is going to pick that up. And there's another one for Kog'Maw. Oh, he didn't actually even get an assist on that. And again, no ultimates coming out from Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw really needs to spam those if he has blue buff and a full mana bar. There's really nothing else to do. But apparently happy to just stand there. And now going to farm on the minions a little. Yeah, they could have picked up another kill there by just, well, getting rid of at least one of these two. And finally an ultimate coming out of Kog'Maw. Udyr completely out of mana, is not going to get out. And this other guy, yep. And this last one should be dead as well. Oh, a nice Ash arrow. That was from the fountain, I think. Oh, that was such a long arrow. A long stun, I should say. Nicely done by Ash. And unfortunately for the opponents, they couldn't make anything out of that. Because that would have been a nice boost to their morale. Because at the moment they are losing all of the team fights. And even though it's not showing in the champion kills yet, it's 22 to 20, it is still going in the direction of the blue team in this case. So yeah, this team fighting phase is actually pretty interesting, although nobody is defending Kog'Maw at the moment, and that is not good, because Kog'Maw is one of your main damage dealers, and you really don't want to leave him all alone like that. Obviously in this 2 versus 4 situation, Garen did the right thing, ran out of there, and couldn't get the protection done on his own anyway. And I think they are going to do this now, yeah? Oh wow, dragon already done. And I think that's like the 3rd dragon that the enemy took. So yeah, all in all, not the best of things to happen. And Ash got the blue buff there. Why would Ash want the blue buff? I have no idea. To give it to Garen apparently. Going to continue on here with the 2 remaining guys. And yeah, that was not a good ultimate by Jarvan at all. He had nothing to do there. He wanted to get out of it as soon as he did it. Yeah, well, what can you do? Someone used the ignite there on the wrong target or way too early. And yeah, Garen just running in there just to take the tower shots and make sure that the rest of the team will go in as well. But nobody follows him, and he just chases the guy away on his own, and they're going to get a turret out of this. Nicely done. Yeah, they're going to fall back now. Probably going to push top lane, mid lane, and then maybe come back to bottom lane if it pushes out a little bit again. But at this moment they are stronger than the enemies. Not so much because of the 24 to 21, because that really doesn't matter too much. More because, well, this guy, the Nasus, has the most farm. That is obvious. He has, yeah, he has a lot of farm, but really that doesn't add to his damage. It only adds to his tankiness. And yeah, it is hard to deal with, but it's not impossible to deal with. On this team, Kog'Maw is completely fed, so 11 kills on this guy is way better than 5 kills on Ashe. So because they have a Kog'Maw that is way stronger than the entire enemy team, the Kog'Maw is going to still be able to kill the whole enemy team if they protect him, and that is what this next team fight will be about. Protecting the Kog'Maw, making sure that Kog'Maw can actually do the killing. Kog'Maw is splitting up from the rest of his team, which is not good. But yeah, this is solo queue. So, and yeah, nobody is able to protect this Kog'Maw because he was completely running in from the wrong angle. Had he stayed here, he would have been able to pick off Ashe, he would have been able to pick off this Alistar, and his teammates would have been able to protect him. And yeah, now everything goes wrong. But yeah, oh, all the way over there getting a kill, really? Wow. Tower diving through 2 turrets and then running back through 2 more. And is he going to get out? Yeah, with his Q he should be able to get out. So yeah, that was really Kog'Maw's mistake. He should have stayed with the team that was going to protect him, that was going to make sure that he could get the kills. Yeah, well, I guess Kog'Maw was not paying attention when they explained that or something like that. No, he probably didn't understand that was the point of this. Yeah, Shurelia's there saving the Nasus, because he could just walk out of that. There's no slow going down on him, even though, yeah, Kog'Maw does have a slow, and I guess that might have been enough. But yeah, they need a Shurelias on their team as well, and there is a Shurelias on their team, but the Soraka was close enough to actually use it. So just watch this Kog'Maw go, man. I think he has a little bit too much critical strike there, but yeah, at least he does quite a bit of damage. Although it's, hang on, it's not the most, it's about 250. That is with the Baron buff. I'm not sure if the Baron buff actually adds some more to your attack damage though. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, Kog'Maw should have some more lifesteal, or at least survivability in team fights. But yeah, if he's not going to hide behind his teammates, it's not going to make a difference anyway. Kog'Maw, dude, take red buff. So they should try to steal enemy red buff, enemy blue buff, if it's up. Oh, it is up. And once again, Ashe going for the blue buff. That is just so strange to me. If that blue buff goes to Nasus, it's going to be so much more useful. Yeah, well, Ashe is probably going to donate that to someone again, because that's what she did last time. So yeah, there is a blue buff on Jarvan and not on Katarina, which is kind of strange, because Katarina would be much better with it, since it spirals out of control for her. If she can spam her skills because of the cooldown reduction, she can get her ultimate back a lot sooner, because, well, with more skills you get more kills, and with more kills you get your cooldown back, or with every kill you get your cooldown on your ultimate back. and with more ultimates you can get more kills. So kind of spirals out of control that way. And there goes Ashe, I'm assuming. No focus on anyone. Again, Jarvan just using his ultimate to do nothing. And then immediately wanting to run out. Yeah, there we go. Blue buff on Katarina now. Told you Ashe was going to give it to someone. At least she got the 70 gold that goes along with it. So yeah, Garen should really get out of here. And he is obviously going to try. He has flash up now. And is he going to escape? Oh, running back into it. Or, well, staying in here. That is not really smart. And they are not going to be able to kill this dude. Oh, they are! Wow, that Katarina doing a ton of damage there. How much AP does she have? She has 400 AP. And she just took down this hugely tanky dude who has only one Megatron plate. Yeah, he has no magic resist. That's why she nuked him down so much. Obviously the rest of the team helped on that, but still I think most of the damage is coming from her. And yeah, running around here to make sure that Udyr cannot escape. And oh, no ultimate coming out. I don't think it would have killed him, but at least it would have done a pretty decent chunk of damage. Come on, attack the Ashe. Yeah, exactly. No. Oh wow. Oh, that was so much damage. Oh, it's you get an additional 525. I didn't know the flat amount was that high, because the well, the amount based on the enemy health is normally what does the most damage. But yeah, it's 525 plus 1 damage for each 2.5 health missing. So yeah, that's 40% of the health they're missing. And then the 500 extra damage really helps out. So yeah, Baron will come up soon, I think. I'm not sure, I didn't time it, but yeah, they lost the Baron buff a little bit ago. And once again, this dude just randomly using the Shuralias. Which means if you watch people while they walk across the map, you see someone doing that, you know that he's not going to have that up. You know that if you gank him like in the next minute, because Shuralias takes a minute to get back up, you're going to be able to pick him off quite easily, because he cannot run away. And you need to do that with 2 or more people, because he has slow and yeah, well, you know the deal. So getting a red buff here on Kog'Maw once again. That is excellent. And the whole team just grouping up, but not doing anything for the moment. Yeah, they need to just catch someone, doesn't really matter who. It would be best if they caught Ashe, but yeah, anyone is good at this point. And Jarvan once again not doing anything. I mean, just look at that. Nobody got damaged by that. He just used his ultimate and then that's it. This dude is surviving actually. Ah! We got some lag here, in case you were wondering. Hang on. Yeah, I paused the game like 5 seconds ago. I'm just going to wait a little bit until my processor actually catches up with what it was doing, and I have no idea what it was doing. So I'm going to click here and then back here. It's not done yet. So yeah, sorry about this, but my computer cannot handle everything. Yep, and we're good to go. Oh, we're not good to go. There we go. So yeah, we're going to follow this guy, and the slow from Ness is already used. I don't know what's happening. Come on, it normally takes like a few seconds, and now it takes forever to get back up. So, going to pause it once again. Yeah, she actually did teleport back, but yeah, the effects actually, yeah, they just continue. So if you see one of the minions firing, for example, let's have an example here. These things will just travel all across the map if you pause the game. These ones actually fade out. Some of the things don't actually fade out. And we are back. So if you, for example, auto attack a minion, the projectile will run all across the map until it hits the border, and then it flies off the map. It's pretty cute. So wow, Katarina doing a pretty good job of taking out this dude. And he is completely out of mana, so... Wow. She does a lot of damage there. And if she can take out half of this guy in one ultimate, that means they should still be able to kill him pretty easily. And since the ultimate from Garen also does magic damage, yeah, it's pretty good. So, are they going to be able to kill this guy? Come on, come on, get him. Get him. Too late. The ward is gone. So yeah, both teams now around Baron here, and yeah, it's really annoying if people take down your wards like this, but nothing you can do about it. By the way, they should have engaged while Alistar was there, because then it was a 5v4 situation at max. And then Alistar would come in later, but by that time the carries would have already died. And that's why you should always stay with your team, because Alistar is only useful if he's actually with his team. And who's going... Yeah, finally he dies. And this guy should die as well. There we go. 2 more. And the carries, surprisingly, dying last. Which means you're not focusing the right dudes. You should get... If you have trouble with reaching your the enemy carries, like they have in this case, you should buy Shurelias on one of your champions. And preferably on 2 champions. Because... like now, if you have Soraka, who has the Shurelias and then either dies too early or doesn't know how to use it, then what's the use of that? I mean, Shurelias is not an item you just pick up or you just buy and then automatically you know how to use it. You need to be able to use it at the right moment for the right reason. And sometimes that's defensive, sometimes it's offensive. It depends on the team fight. But in this case, yeah, having 2 of them would make it possible to actually get one of them offensively, so to get into the situation, and one of them to get out of the situation. Soraka getting another Oracle's Elixir. So it's kind of overkill, I think, because this team isn't, so this enemy team isn't really warding anything. And look at the items, nobody has any slots, only the Alistar has 1 ward, and Udyr has 1 slot open, but hasn't placed any wards. So, investing 400 gold, or well, it's 1200 gold by now for her, because it's a third, Investing all that gold without finding any wards, yeah, it might seem pro to get an Oracle's elixir, but it really isn't. You should keep in mind that there need to be wards on the map for it to actually mean something. So Nessus, yeah, wondering why he's getting taken down all the time. Yeah, Nessus really doesn't have any magic resist and gets killed because of that. This Alistar is really a lot harder to kill, but yeah, well, he's Alistar, right? They have two frozen hearts. Excellent work, excellent work. He does have a little more magic resist now, but it's way too late. Yeah, and this really wasn't the fault of Ashe. Ashe needs to be protected. They just had an Alistar who thought he didn't need to be with the team, and as a support your only goal is to make sure that people like Garen and like Kog'Maw cannot reach your carry. Jarvan, yeah, you cannot really do a whole lot about it, but as you saw, he went full tank, he didn't do any damage, and he didn't know how to really use his ult to win fights. Because every time we saw him use his ultimate, it wasn't really effective at all. He didn't do anything. It was just a delay of like 2 seconds. And that's not how you want to use that. Anyhow, well played. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. GG.